What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Today we're going to do my 5 most disappointing snap-on tools. Before we get started, we're just about at 1,000 subscribers, so if you would take a second, hit the subscribe button, and that'll help us out a lot. So let's get started with this top 5. And these are in an order. I guess number 5 would be the least disappointing, but still disappointing. And this was pretty hard to come up with 5. So starting with number 5 is, let's see if we can get the glare, the IPK 1630 puller kit for Ford 6.7 injectors. This is actually a really nicely made kit, and it does work if you can get it out of the box. Good grief. But pretty much just has a forcing screw and then 2 stabilizing screws. But the issue is, if you're working on an F250 with the 6.7, this is too long. So you can't get all 8 injectors out without having to come up with different washers and bolts and different ways to make it to where to get the back 2 injectors out. There's just not enough room in the engine bay to do it. Jesus. So it is a little disappointing that you spend that much money. I think it was either close to $200 or over $200 for this kit, and yet you still have to modify it to make it work to get all 8 injectors out, which I think if Snap-on's going to build a kit, they should just make it work for all 8. So that's number 5, if it was shut. Let's see if we can get this to shut. Nope. Whatever. Throw you over here somewhere. So, moving on to number 4, this set is a very expensive set, and it is the 1/2-inch impact driver. And I don't even think they sell this as a full set like this anymore, with all the Allens and the number 4 3 Phillips and flatheads. I think they only sell it now in a couple of smaller configurations. But when this set was being sold, I think it was around $700. And I'm sure in some industries it's the perfect set. I never understood why they did an impact driver with chrome and not all impact stuff, but whatever. But anyway, in my business, automotive, there's really very few instances where this comes in handy. I think the only thing I've ever used is the number 3, which is pretty chewed up. I need to get that warranted. I don't really use it anymore. I have other ways to take the Honda brake rotor screws out, but these wear out fast, very fast. I don't think these bits were really designed to be used with an impact driver, and they pretty much fall apart. And the set comes with SAE Allens. I imagine that this is more for industrial type stuff. It actually came with my 1/2-inch impact I bought back in the day. It was a buy one get one, because I would have been really mad if I had paid for the set and it didn't just come with the impact. But I think they were just trying to. As soon as I got it, a couple of weeks later, I tried to trade this in, and Snap-on wouldn't even take it on trade-in. They would give me no money for it. That's how desperate they were to get rid of this thing. So moving on to number 3. And number 3 is the Snap-on 3/8 Brute battery powered ratchet. Part number is CTR 762HV for high vis. This thing is usable and it is powerful, but it is extremely slow. Slow as that thing spins, it's really not. It's almost easier and quicker to break a bolt loose with a ratchet and use the regular 14.4 3/8 ratchet, because this thing just has, it is the slowest moving. I don't think they make a slower moving battery powered ratchet. I do like the color. The length is nice on it, but it's just super slow. So I don't really think there's much else to be said about it. It's been a big disappointment. I thought that this thing was going to have a more powerful motor in it instead of just changing the gear ratio. But anyway, moving along. So next is these Snap-on Torx screwdrivers. I bought these to do, some under dash work, or small things that I couldn't get a power tool into or a ratchet, and I've really just not found a need for it. I don't think I've even used. I think the only one I've used the T8 to take ratchets apart. On some ratchets they have a T8, but other than that, none of these other ones have ever been used, and it's been kind of a disappointment. I don't really see any real need for this. I'm sure there's some industries that would use these, and it would make sense to own these if you were in those industries, but in automotive repair, unless there's some odd reason you need screwdriver Torx, they're just not worth it. And then the most disappointing Snap-on tool is going to be the 3/8 impact extensions. These are definitely, I can't think of an industry or any reason you would want these. Let me kind of give you an idea. Let's get a socket. So with these, they don't hold the socket well at all. The socket will just pop off very simple, or very easily. And don't know how many times I've been, trying to impact something and the socket goes flying off. The retaining rings are just weak, just from brand new. I've tried to adjust them. The only one that really holds much at all is this little bitty one. It holds pretty good, but the rest of them, they're extremely weak. And they just keep, of course, they just get weaker over time, and it's not worth it. I don't see any reason to ever buy those. Now, some that I could recommend, but they don't come in a full set, unfortunately. They only have the 3 and not the 4th little one, is the Matco, because they have the little pin. And that little pin, now you do have to line it up with the hole, but these things are on there, not coming off. Maybe a little rattle, but you don't have to worry about your socket flying off. And I use these far more than I use these. Yeah, this has been a huge disappointment. They're not very expensive, so it wasn't a huge waste of money, but definitely do not recommend the Snap-on. Actually, any of them, the 3/8 or the quarter. The quarter's the same way. The 1/2 inch seems to hold a little better, but let's grab a socket. Even the 1/4 inch is built the same way. It's got that same ring, and it just doesn't hold very well at all. So, yeah, not really worth it. I do use a 1/4 inch impact, and didn't really want to use chrome extensions, but I haven't really found too many companies. I think SK makes some 1/4 inch impact extensions, but I'm gonna have to look into it, because I really do want to get a good set of 1/4 inch impact extensions that have the locking tab. As far as the 1/2 inch, I'm trying to remember where I put them. The 1/2 inch isn't so bad, but I don't use them as much. I have the the 6-inch, I use the gray pneumatic, which has a pin. But I haven't really had too many problems with the 1/2 inch. But definitely the 3/8 and the 1/4 are just, they're horrible. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. If you have some other Snap-on tools you regret buying, put it in the comments. Let me know. Don't forget to subscribe. Like I said, we're right at 1,000. I'm sure after this video's out for a little while, we'll be over 1,000. Until then, I'll see y'all later.